on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook.
The Sports Cast. Expect the unexpected.
The update presented by the Sports Cast.
Welcome to the Sports Cast, October 28th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, and X, and Apple Podcasts. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online digital radio. You can visit our website, thesportscast.net. Also follow us on X and Instagram at the Sportscast1, and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. NFL Week 8 in the wraps. We have one more game tonight. A lot going on. Hail Marys, winning streak extensions, and the Browns have won under Winston, a quarterback that Stefanski's has won with other quarterbacks, but not Deshaun Watson. And join us to hash that out, Dan Madden. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
Yeah, good to be back from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Victory Monday, baby. Feeling good. Anytime you can beat the Ravens.
Coming into this game, what were your expectations? You think, okay, now with the quarterback change, is there a chance to beat a team like the Ravens?
No, actually, I'm in a bet with some buddies. We pick who's going to win each game, and I actually picked against the Browns because I didn't think there was a chance that they could beat the Ravens, particularly how they've been playing Lamar and Derrick Henry. I just didn't see them being able to slow them down. I mean, although their defense is great, but no one would have thought that Winston would have had the day that he did. I guess, he probably switching things up. I mean, Stefanski wasn't calling the plays. Dorsey called a good game other than the last possession of the half. Probably should have went in with the lead 6-3 at half, but decided to go for it in the third and long and gave the ball back to Baltimore. They went and scored. But he called a great game. Winston went off for over 300 and just seeing the field. And it just you got to wonder, this team just looked like they were playing harder. The line couldn't block anybody before. They were a little banged up, got Teller back, a couple guys, but it just seemed like everyone was playing harder. And you just wonder, you got a guy under center, is really not moving the balls, making all this money, and he stinks. It's a little motivated to go to work for that. And I just think the guys came behind Winston. He's a great leader in the locker room, even though he wasn't the starter. And it was a fantastic game. Granted, there were some missed interceptions. One particular, Kyle Hamilton, one of the best corners in the league, hit him right in the numbers and dropped it. Probably would have won the game, gave us life, and the Cardiac Kids striked again, baby.
Did you see that pregame huddle from not Deshaun Watson, from James Winston? And also had was it a pre-interview from CBS? He was just quoting scripture or something.
I missed that. I didn't see that. No, I know that he was well locked in the locker room, and just real positive influence, even though he wasn't the starter. And I guess there's a question like, how is this guy third on the depth chart? I mean, they went with DTR, and then he got hurt.
The Browns like DTR. I've heard.
Yeah, no, they do. But I don't think he would do that. Obviously, we saw that. So, I think, it's his position moving forward, and looking at their schedule. Their defense can keep them every game. I think moving forward, they got a shot. They really do if they continue to do that in the upcoming games.
Yeah, back to what you said. It's usually a head coach that when you switch them, you see the environment change a lot. You see the atmosphere, the locker room is just way better. Usually it's like that. But I've never seen a situation where you do where you do a quarterback change, the team changes.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and I mean, I don't think we missed Amari Cooper very much. I mean, Tillman stepped in. I mean, he was running great routes, and they were finding him, and it's amazing. I mean, like I said, I just feel, although they would never say it, I just feel that everyone knows. I mean, we just analyze the game and we can see just Watson's not the same guy. And these guys are professional athletes and they have to see it. They know the game better than we do. And you're running routes and you're playing defense and oh man, we're gonna have to get out here again. Watson ain't gonna do nothing. He's not gonna throw the ball down the field. Defense is gonna be back. Oh, I'm blocking these guys just for Watson to get sacked or throwing incomplete. It's gotta affect the morale of the team. And I think that was a full display yesterday.
Stefanski's job is safe right now, right?
Right. Yeah. He made the decisions and I think it's safe. And he even looked cool and calm and collect. I mean, he had back to smile. Like, I mean, it looked like he was having fun again. He's like, man, I got the monkey off because the owner wasn't letting him play anybody else. And now he has to play. And so now he's happy,
Yeah. I mean, what I've heard from the rumor mill that he was obligated to start Deshaun Watson.
yeah.
I think,
Yeah, no.
I think if you ask him, and from his point of view, it was either going to be DTR or James Henston to start rather than Deshaun Watson, but he was just obligated to start Deshaun. So, and how about the Ken Horsey calling the plays? Has that made a difference?
Well, I think so. I mean, they were definitely taking some more shots down the field. I mean, granted, probably weren't able to do that much with Deshaun, but I mean, a combination with his play calls, I think it was a little less unpredictable, not as conservative at times. He just made that one bad call at the end of half where I was like, what is going on here? I mean, just take the lead. We're never leading at halftime, 6-3 against Baltimore. Let's just take it. And he got a little too aggressive. They scored, and I just thought it was going to come back and bite us at the end, but luckily, the gods were with us. Jim Donovan was with us. I mean, the sportscaster that called the games for the Browns. I mean, his spirit was alive and well at the stadium. I mean, the sun was coming down, and they had Bateman was wide open, and he couldn't see the ball. I mean, they probably would have scored on that drive. So there was a lot of mysterious things going on in the lake in Cleveland. So.
It's interesting. I was at my gym this morning, and I know a Ravens fan that works out with me, and he came up to me, said he blames it on the Ravens defense. I mean, what'd you think about them?
Yeah, surprisingly, I mean, the Ravens defense, I mean, they weren't able to get to the quarterback, and then the Browns haven't been able to protect the quarterback all year. So I don't know, the schemes that they were running. They weren't really blitzing the Hamilton very much. I mean, he probably could have got to him a little bit, but then you'd open it up on the outside for some deep balls. But yeah, I was surprised by their defense giving up that many points. I mean, this is a team that never scored 20 points in the season. So, I mean, it's
first time.
Remarkable. Yes,
this season.
To do it against the Ravens.
Which I told you that stat, and which is kind of remarkable with this Browns team. They're 2-6, Dan. Do you think you can maybe make the playoffs? I know it's still early and it's possible. I've heard 2-6 have, but do you see a possibility to do so?
It's going to be tough. I mean, probably need some help. I mean, the Bengals are struggling right now. Their schedule doesn't get easier. But I think looking at their schedule, I think they could be right in each of their games. I think they have the possibility to win each or three of the next three games. Then they play the Chiefs. That could be a different story. But I think with this defense, they can be in any game. It's just that they can score enough points. And if Winston continues to play like that, limits the turnovers, I think they could be in any game and beat anybody.
Yeah, looking at the AFC, the North Steelers are 5-2. They play tonight. Ravens were number 1, but now they're 5-3. Cincinnati's 3-5, and the Browns are 2-6. the AFC itself is kind of open, Dan. So it's not
Right.
like the
Yes,
NFC has
exactly.
a lot of great records. But I think the Browns, at this point, after 8 games, they could make that a Hawk scenario.
I think so. I mean, I think they got a resurgence. I think the morale's up again. I think Winston gives them the chance to win. Like I said, with that defense, I think they can be in a position to win games. I mean, I think they could beat the Saints. Broncos are playing well right now.
That's a
That'll be a
toughie,
tough
but that's
one. But
winnable.
Chiefs would
Could it?
be a good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they're all winnable games. I
Not the
mean,
Chiefs, though.
other
I
than
wouldn't pick
Chiefs.
that
No,
as winnable
Chiefs isn't.
game.
No, that's not a winnable game. No.
And then, of course, Steelers, I don't think as much. We'll see how it goes tonight. I definitely want to see another round of Russell Wilson, how he does. And of course, with New York Giants and got the Dolphins, that's a winnable game. That I can tell you. And then play lastly in the Ravens. Not a bad schedule. Not as bad as the Cowboys, though.
Yeah, no, the Cowboys. That's a whole different. I mean, they've got I don't. We're Jerry's not going to be very happy. I don't think.
I don't think this would be a Winston 40 interception season like he had in Tampa a couple of years ago. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he would have had a couple yesterday if they caught the ball, but I'd like to see him, not make those throws. But I mean, he threads the needle. He's not afraid to take those shots. So
yeah, and
they're actually enjoyable to watch now. I mean, I enjoyed watching the game.
So. Yeah, he was groomed under Drew Brees, so I'm sure he's gotten a lot of better psychologically. And I did not know he was a spiritual guy either. So I just found that out yesterday. Let's go.
His stealing crab legs days are behind him, apparently.
Yeah, that was the thing in Tallahassee at Publix. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that's another podcast. Let's go to top headlines today. The Chiefs got another trade. They've been busy this season with trades. They acquired pass rusher Joshua Uche with the Patriots. He's from the Patriots. Uche was a healthy scratch from the Patriots yesterday. He had a good game. Uche is 26, has 2 sacks in 6 games this season, and 20.5 sacks in his career. What are your thoughts about for this move? I mean, probably the Chiefs are filling up holes, even though they're like undefeated.
Yeah, no, the rich gets richer. I mean, they always try to wheel and deal and to get better moving towards the end of the year. I mean, their defense was already playing tough, really keeping them in games and giving them a chance to win. Now the offense is starting to click. Kelsey got going. So, yeah, this is just going to make them better and harder to beat.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, I think he had like 71 yards. Yeah. I think he didn't have much going on, but they're still trying to, they're trying to get things all focused up a little bit. But I think they'll be okay. I'm not saying they're going to have an undefeated season, but I think they'll be okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they'll have a loss or two, but no, they'll be in the picture, and they always win when it matters most come playoff time.
Well, there you have it. That's our top news of today. You never know. There is that Deontay Johnson trade going on, rumors. Which team do you think he'll be? Is everything okay there?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, Deontay Johnson, do you think he'll be going anywhere this season or getting traded?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything on that front.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he'll be traded. He was one of the best receivers in the trading block, so we'll see what happens with Carolina and their fiasco. Anyways, Dan, are you ready to recap NFL Week 8?
Yep.
All right. New York Jets at New England Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson plunged into the end zone with 22 seconds left, and the New England Patriots recovered after first-round pick draft. Drake May left with a concussion, Dan, early to beat Aaron Rodgers and the much-hyped New York Jets 25-22.
Well, it's all she wrote for the Jets. I mean, it's all over. I mean, they got rid of everybody in the kitchen sink and still stink. So, that's tough. Happy for Brissett, kind of getting a second, third shot here and, pulled them to win the game. But, yeah, rough for the Jet fans right now.
You're up for the Jets. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I think that project is done.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers says he was done at the end of the year. I mean, why play for this?
Why bother? Why ruin your legacy for another bad year?
Exactly.
Let's go Cincinnati, a team that Dan's very familiar with. Jalen Hurts rushed for 3 touchdowns and passed for another touchdown, helping the Eagles pound the Bengals 37-17 on Sunday for their 3rd consecutive victory. Good for the Eagles.
Yeah, no, good for the Eagles, bad for everyone else because they're clicking right now. I mean, they're finding their stride between Hurts, Brown, Smith, and adding Barkley, that running element to this team. I mean, they're going to be dangerous down the stretch. And Bengals are in crisis mode right now. I mean, it's not going to get any easier. Their schedule, they got the Steelers, the Ravens, Chargers, Cowboys. I mean, they're going to be looking at a rough year, I think.
I think the Browns are in a better position than the Bengals right now.
I do too.
After one game. Let's go to Jacksonville. Tough place to play, Dan. You've been to Florida. Very human. Green Bay went with backup Malik Willis, who completed a 51-yard pass to Jaden Reed. That set up Brandon McManus, great kicker, 2nd winning kick as many weeks, a 24-yarder that lifted Green Bay over Jacksonville 30-27. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, Willis stepped in, did a good job once again. Somewhat concerning with Love with the groin injury. I mean, it seems like
he's injury prone, isn't he?
Yeah, he seems to be injury prone. Got that contract, and he doesn't get to play like a lot of people. But Lawrence struggled early, started rolling later, but it wasn't enough to get the win.
Unbelievable. Let's go to Detroit. Jared Goff threw touchdown passes, and David Montgomery was the first of the 5 players to score in the first half for Detroit Lions, who romped past the Tennessee Titans 52-13.
Yeah, no, that was a high-scoring affair. I was reading that 42 points were actually scored with only 137 yards in offense. A couple turnovers and a punt return, so that's pretty amazing. But they got problems there in Tennessee. They're definitely going to need to get a quarterback in the draft. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of rebuilding there. So what's going on with that? We'll find out. Let's go to Atlanta at Tampa. Tough place to play. Florida's humid in October, but Kirk Cousins did not. He did not fret. He threw for 276 yards and 4 touchdowns to help Atlanta take sole possession of first place of the difficult NFC South with a 31-26 victory over the Bucs. Kirk Cousins having an amazing season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A great year for him, getting the ball down the field. I think with that, Mayfield, I think, really misses his big weapons and good Godwin and Evans. I mean, those are his go-to guys. So I think this game maybe would have been a little different. Yeah.
No Chris Godwin, no Mike Evans, big factor. We'll see what happens. Arizona visits Miami. Tua's return. Kyler Murray drove the Cardinals into position for a game-winning field goal. Another field goal win by Chad Ryland as time expired for the 2nd straight week, and Arizona spoiled Tua's return from a concussion. He looked pretty good, Tua.
Yeah, no, he did. But Murray looked a little better, and I think the defense. I think you probably agree, just not being able to get stops for Miami. That's the problem.
And Tua was able to slide.
Yeah.
The crowd was like clapping, rowing on that slide. It's crazy. Like a touchdown.
No, he's definitely going to have to play a little different, for sure.
The game of the weekend, James Winston threw a 38-yard touchdown pass, his 3rd of the game, to Cedric Tillman with 59 seconds left as the Browns stunned Lamar Jackson and the Ravens stunned 29-24 on Sunday to snap a 5-game losing streak in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, it was a happy day in my household. Side note, my wife wanted to take the kids to the trunk or treat down to the local church at 5 o'clock or 3:30. And I said, we are not leaving the house until this game's over. I'm watching this whole game. So I had to sleep on the couch last night, but it was worth it. The Browns got the win. And it was a happy day, and happy what Winston did, and go Brownies.
Go Brownies. This could be resurgence. Let's go to Houston. CJ Stroud threw for 285 yards and a touchdown, and Joe Mixon ran for 102 yards with a score to help the Houston Texans to a 23-20 win over the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. Stroud bounced back after he had a career worst 86 yards passing in a long loss to the Packers last week to allow the Texans to extend their lead atop to the AFC South. Big win. I was going to say the quarterback for the Colts, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
he was tired after the third quarter.
Yeah,
Dan.
I know that. Yeah, what's his name is really beating him up. McAfee, just saying this is soft. You're an NFL quarterback. You're tapping out. I mean, come on. I mean that is not going to sit well with the team. And I mean, I'm sorry. I think Flacco gives him a better shot to win at this point. I mean, let him if he's tired, let him sit for a little bit and watch Flacco play. I mean, Flacco was sitting on a couch and he's not tired. I mean, what is he, 40? I mean,
he's pretty much 40. He's my age, actually.
I mean, let him play.
39.
Let him play.
If you were coach of the Colts, would you start Flacco or Richardson?
I would. I know, no question. He'd be started today.
There you have it. I like Flacco. I'm too tired, Dan. I'm gonna stop the show right now. I'm kidding. Yes. We got to talk about the Chargers beating New Orleans. Ladd McConkey. I never heard of this guy till yesterday. Had 2 touchdown catches, including a 60-yard score in the third quarter, and became the first Chargers rookie receiver in 11 years, Dan, to have a 100-yard receiving game at LA as LA Chargers defeated the Saints 20-68 on Sunday.
Well, this McConkey guy's got me a little nervous because we got him next week, and we might be without Denzel Ward. So hopefully he doesn't do that next week. But big time. And New Orleans, I mean, they started off hot, and then they just fell flat. Lost 6 in a row.
They lost 6 straight, Dan. That sounds like the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we go the other way. We lost 6, and then we're going to win 6.
also a contract situation when Alvin Kamara resigned for $24.5 million. Had only 122 yards, and Chris Olave had 8 receptions. So the Saints are in the hot seat right now, but it's because Derek Carr is on the bench. Is that why?
I mean, I think that's some of it. Probably a big part of it, but defensively, they're really not there either. So. He doesn't play defense the last time I checked. So,
well, yeah, exactly. We'll talk about the coaches at the end of the show because there's some in the hot seat, I think. This was supposed to be the game of the weekend, but it didn't turn out to be that. Josh Allen had threw for 2 touchdown passes. The surging Bills turned their first interception of the season into an afterthought, pummeling the Seahawks 31-10.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I mean, particularly with the Seattle's defense, I just figured they'd be able to slow Allen down a little bit, but wasn't able to get production there or offensively to make the game.
Quite something. We'll see what happens with Seahawks. They're kind of a weird team. They started off great, but they lose some big ones. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's crazy. But this one, Washington, the quarterback Jaden Daniels had a couple of very simple thoughts going through his head with the Commanders needing to make a long-distance throw to beat the Chicago Bears. Hail Mary. And they did it. They won it. They beat Chicago 18-15.
That was wild. I mean, Williams had played awful in the first half, got it going. But everyone thought it to win, including the DB Stevenson. I don't know if you saw, it's just trending on social media.
Yes, he was taunting the crowd.
He was taunting the crowd while the play was going on, and then he ran, and he's the one that tipped the ball to them. So, the scripture in the Bible, pride comes before the fall. Well, that's full display right there, buddy.
That's a good example.
Full display. So,
well, the Commanders are on top of the NFC East. They're looking good. They're looking pretty. And Jaden Daniels doesn't look hurt from the rib injury.
No, I mean, he's the real deal. And I think there's a lot of pundits and analysts that feel that he was the best in the draft as opposed to Williams. And he got the head-to-head win right there. And he's humble, after the game. And that's what I like about him compared to Williams. Daniels is humble. Williams is not. So I prefer Daniels.
Daniels, it is. Carolina wanted Daniels as well, but they get it. They lost against the Broncos. Sean Payton didn't like the way the Broncos started or finished their 28-14 win over the injury-riddled Carolina Panthers. In between, there was plenty for him to enjoy. Bo Nix threw for 3 touchdown passes, Dan, and ran for another. And the Broncos defense throttled Bryce Young, who came back because Andy Dalton was into a car accident. But Bryce Young, for much of the afternoon, intercepted him twice and sacked him twice. No big news here.
No, I tell you, we saw that coming. But Bo Nix is the real deal. I mean, he, as a rookie, he's mature well beyond his years. And I think it's safe to say that Bryce Young 2.0 second chance is not better than the first. So they're going to be getting a quarterback in the draft for sure.
Yeah, for sure coming. I wonder how much or what, like how much what teams will give up to trade for Bryce Young. We'll find out.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be a starter anywhere. I don't know. Maybe it's Carolina. I mean, look what happened with Baker. Maybe he gets a second shot somewhere else.
That's true.
He could be something else. I mean, so maybe you might be able to get a, 4th, 5th rounder for him.
Maybe a place like, yeah, exactly. Like you were saying, Baker did okay with Cleveland, I thought. Did bad with Carolina. And did fantastic with Tampa.
Yeah.
Let's go to Las Vegas. Kansas City kept the Raiders off the scoreboard, even after facing 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, changing the tenor of the game and allowing the 2-time defending champion Chiefs to continue their domination in Las Vegas with a 27-20 victory to remain undefeated 7-0, Dan.
Yeah, this game was really close, but Kansas City and Mahomes, as long as he's behind center, they always make the right play, particularly on 3rd down. When you think you have Mahomes stopped, he scrambles, extends the play, and finds Kelsey or runs for it. And it has to affect the defenses when you think you got him stopped and he just scrambles and just runs for it or finds a receiver. So it's got to be tough playing defense against the Chiefs.
Tough play. It's undefeated. Do you think they'll lose the game this season?
Yeah, I think they'll lose. I haven't really looked who they got, but I think first
we do play the Browns.
Yeah, that's the game they'll lose. No, no, but I think it's tough to go fully undefeated for sure.
Yeah, only one team that can do it, Miami.
Yeah.
Last night, Brock Purdy bounced back from a shaky first half to lead 3 touchdown drives in the 3rd quarter, and the Niners narrowly avoided another 4th quarter collapse with a late defense stance that sealed a 30-24 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys still losing. Niners are just won last night.
Yeah. No, it seems to be the same song and dance for Dallas. I mean, Dak gets up there. I got to play better. I can't do this. And at some point you actually have to do it. I don't know. With their schedule, I don't know if it's going to get any better.
Yeah, it's going to be quite something with the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy, I don't think his contract will be renewed. Dalvin Cook did not have a good game. But let's look at the standings. Let me pull this up and let's look at and try to revise what's going on in the NFL. Okay, there it is. So we got the Bills on top in the AFC East, Miami second, Patriots third, Jets third. How do you see the AFC East? Obviously, Bills is number 1, but do you think Dolphins can finish number 2?
I would say so. I mean, I don't see, the Patriots, definitely not the Jets getting there, moving forward.
Yeah. AFC West, Chiefs undefeated, Broncos number 2, Chargers number 3, Raiders number 4. I think we'll see how this when the Chiefs face off the Broncos. That should be an interesting game.
Yeah, the Broncos. I mean, I think with the way Nick's is playing and Peyton as a coach. I mean, the way he turned that culture around, they're going to be a force, I think.
And the North, we got Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Brownies. I think this North could get a little bit congested, not with the Bengals, but with like the top three. I think
I
Steelers,
think
Ravens, and
so.
Browns.
I think it's going to be a battle for those first two spots. Yep.
Absolutely. And the South, of course, spells so much depression here. But the Texans, I think, will take it. The Colts are number 2, Jaguars 3 at 2-6, and Titans 1-6.
Yeah, that gets a little dicey there. I mean, the quarterback question is in play. I think that they went with Flacco. I think I would give them the second. But if they're going to stay with Richardson, I don't know if the Jacksonville can put enough wins together to get up there. If Lawrence starts playing a little better, it's possible.
Yeah, that team definitely needs a little bit boosting. The London games are over for them, so we'll see how they do domestically. NFC East, Commanders 6-2, Eagles 5-2, Cowboys 3-4, Giants are 2-5. Of course, Giants play tonight, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, pretty much it's between the Commanders and the Eagles. But who do you think will end up first?
I think the Eagles. I mean, the way they're playing right now, the four-headed monster with Barkley there now. I think they're going to end up at 1.
NFC West, Cardinals number 1, 4-4. San Francisco 4-4. Seahawks 4-4. Rams 3-4. Cardinals are number 1 in the NFC West.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't see that coming. But Kyler Murray really started playing a lot better. So I think the Niners are going to get it together. Hopefully, when McCaffrey comes back, I think they're going to take that number 1 spot, and the Cardinals will be 2.
The North, Detroit at 6-1, Packers 6-2, Vikings 5-2, Bears 4-3. Dan, this has been congested.
Yeah,
Minnesota was undefeated. Now they're 2 losses in a row.
Yeah, that any given day, any given Sunday. But the way the Lions are playing, I think they stay at 1, and I think the Packers will stay. I mean, if they get Love back. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if he can stay healthy. If not, I don't think the Bears are going to get there. I really don't.
I don't think so either. But they're looking better than last year for sure.
Yes.
NFC South, I think, is busy between Atlanta 5-3, Tampa 4-4, Saints 2-6, Panthers 1-7. It's going to be between Atlanta and Tampa Bay, but
yes.
But Atlanta has beaten them twice already. Has beaten Tampa twice, so looking good for Atlanta.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they'll be 1 for sure, and I don't see the Saints obviously catching up.
Well, there you have it. NFC standings, NFL standings, still early, but it is week 8, so you start looking things kind of. Well, it's actually we're in the midseason already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's going fast.
This week and next week is midseason, but we have one more game tonight, Dan. It's New York Giants at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I heard if Daniel Jones does not perform well tonight, he is no longer the starter. It will be Drew Lock. Who do you have for tonight?
I like the Steelers. I mean, I don't like the Steelers, but they're going to win this game. They're not going to be able to get any offensive production. I think Russell Wilson will have a good game. They're going to look to get the ball down to Pickens, get him some touches early.
Yeah, I think. What you think about Russell Wilson's performance last week?
I thought it was good. It took him some time the first half to get going, but he settled in nice. And I think the more reps he gets, he's going to get more comfortable. So I think he'll play much better today.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Jones is in the hot seat, Dan. Do you expect him? Do you expect him to turn things around tonight?
Well, it's a little. I don't think so. I mean, to play with that type of pressure, it kind of weighs on you. To have to go out and know that if you don't perform well, you're going to be done. So I think that pressure will be a little too much for him, and I don't see him having a good game.
There you have it tonight, 8 p.m., 8:20 Eastern, Monday Night Football, Giants at Steelers. It's going to be a good one. No more double headers, Dan. So just one Monday Night Football tonight.
I can't stay up for one game on Monday night, let alone two. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, last week the Chargers, I think, was a low rating game. It was like 1.3 million.
Yeah, I'll be
pretty
flipping
low.
back and forth. I've been watching my Cavs. They got a big one with the Knicks tonight, man. They're looking really good. New coach Atkinson coming from Golden State. They're playing at a high level right now, so look for them to be competitive. They got the Knicks today and the Lakers on Wednesday. Two big games, so I'm anxious to see how they do in those two.
Hey, if you get a Golden State Warrior coaching guy coming in to coach your team, I have high expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
There you have it. NBA. Dwayne Wade's trophy was unveiled yesterday. Not good much reviews on that one.
Oh, is that right? I didn't see that.
Yeah, the face doesn't look like it. You know, it's funny. Most statues that I've seen I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a hard thing to do, but it's not perfect, I guess you can say. So, anyways, you can't redo it. It is what it is. You got to live with it. Dan, what is the best way to reach you online to talk to you about James Winston?
Yeah, on X Danimal2478, or you can reach out on Facebook, Dan Madden.
Dan Madden, he is all over the Browns. He is looking optimistic now. I am a little bit optimistic with Miami yesterday. I think Tua is better at the helm, and he looks fine. Like I was seeing him at the press conference. He looked like he's healthy.
Yeah. Hopefully he stays that way. Yeah.
Hopefully, and he slides. So that gives me some hope. Okay, like you learned your lesson. You can't just go ahead, helmet to helmet. He won't wear that G helmet, unfortunately. No. I wish he did.
No. Yeah, exactly.
But I know they look bad. But hey, still safety is important.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways, you can reach us at thesportscast.net or the Sportscast1 on X and Instagram. We'll be live tweeting tonight. And guess what? We have 1 week left till trade, so we might see some news, Dan, this week.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think the Browns are on the market for anybody, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens, unless we want to trade Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to
happen. All right. Well, there you have it, Dan. Another good show. I appreciate you coming on to the Sportscast.
Sure thing. Talk to you later.
And this was